G'day, I'm Starlo.
And I'm Bushy.
And in this instructional video, we want to share with you an integrated system that has changed the way we go fishing.
It's a system that's won us tournaments, caught us more and bigger fish, and reinvigorated our passion for the sport.
So come along with us now as we share with you the secrets of squidgy success. Come on, mate. This delightful body of water is Malakuta Inlet in eastern Victoria, not far from the New South Wales border. It's typical of a host of southern estuaries stretching all the way from Fraser Island in Queensland to Tasmania's Derwent in the south and across to Perth's Swan River in the west. It represents the sort of waterway that a vast majority of Aussie anglers fish regularly for popular species such as bream, flathead, mulloway or jewfish, whiting and estuary perch, all of which are prime targets for our blue fox squidgies and for the system that we've devised for using them. Squidgies is a fun name that Bushy and I came up with a few years ago to describe soft plastic lures. These lures have been around for a long time, but it's only in the last few years that their use has really taken off here in Australia, as local anglers have started catching a wider range of fish on them in both salt and fresh water. Today we're fishing out of Bushy's tricky little punt with a bow-mounted electric motor, and that is a lovely way to go fishing. But don't get the idea that you've got to have a state-of-the-art rig like this one just to catch fish on squidgies. You don't. You can catch them off the bank, you can catch them wading along, fishing on a wharf or a jetty, out of a little kayak or canoe or any other kind of boat that you can get into, either drifting along or at anchor. Far more important than any of that stuff is how you rig and present the squidgy itself, and that's what I want to show you right now. I'll take one of these out of the packet. He's not bad. He's got one. Bushy, you are hopeless. Not a bad fish either.
Oh, sorry, Steve. I just had my squidgy in the water for 2 casts. I couldn't help myself. And look at this flathead. He's just engulfed that squidgy. Second cast of the day. Sorry, mate, I'll let you go back to explaining how to rig it.
You're not bad. It's pretty hard to get good help, I tell you. Bushy, just try not to hook one for another minute or so while I show the folks how to put the tail on the jig head. Right, now I'm going to take this one out of the packet. This is actually my last in a packet of 6 number 3 squidgy fish in the black gold colour, which I really like in fairly clear water. Now I've got an empty packet there now. I am not going to throw it over the side, and please don't do that. Take all your empties and bits of plastic home with you. I'll just stick that in my pocket. Now to rig this on the jig head and to rig any of the squidgy tails on any of the heads, it's very important to match them up correctly and get it straight. And the first thing to do is to measure the jig head alongside the tail like I'm doing there. Just put the nose of the soft plastic tail up against the lead of the jig head and have a look where the bend of the hook comes to, because that is where you're going to want the point to exit when you rig it. Now I'll note that that's about half a centimetre or less back into that little dorsal fin on the back of the soft plastic. So now I take it and I go right into the centre of the front of the head, just push it onto the hook and just work the soft plastic tail around the bend of the hook, and then I bring that point out as near as I can to the midline of the plastic, right at that point where I marked before, and just feed it round the bend of the hook and push the head up over that little wire keeper prong, and there you go. You can see it's lying nice and straight on the hook, and even more importantly, that hook is exiting right on the midline of the tail. Look, a couple of extra seconds spent at this stage can make a big difference to your results. That's ready to catch a fish now. I'm going to chuck it in the water and see if I can get one.
Now Steve showed you how to rig this lure.